What's up, my peeps? Anyway, like I said, this gonna be my second video of the week, and like I told you guys in the last one, this is gonna be a paranormal experience. Hopefully people don't trip on this and just click right out, because I know some of the people aren't fans of it. But like I said before, this channel is for me to talk about my life experiences, and I've had a lot of paranormal experiences from when I was a kid until maybe like I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago was probably like the last one. But I've always been sensitive to it. Like I talked about before, I used to see spirits in my bedroom as a kid, and I always thought it was just me. But then my sisters, confirmed that they seen a lot of spirits too. In the house that we grew in, or it was an apartment, but a large apartment in the projects. But anyway, I've talked about that in some of my other videos, and also I've talked about how you know like I used to kind of try to do like paranormal investigations and stuff, and like when me and my lady first got together, like I used to kind of bring her along with me, and but that soon came to an end because a couple of scary things happened, and she was like, she's like, I ain't doing this no more, and she used to kind of get on me, like tell me I don't want you doing that anymore, and because I had some pretty scary experiences, and I might talk about them in future videos, but some of it is like kind of like iffy if I want to talk about it, because like people are either gonna say like I'm full of shit, or they're gonna be like, man, like you're weird, or like you're crazy or whatever. But anyway, like I said, from some of my paranormal investigating, like I've had some pretty scary experiences. Like I guess you could call them like visitations, And this particular one that I'm going to talk about, so like this is like the last like really really I guess, I mean, I don't even want to say like really scary, but just kind of scary and weird thing that happened to me, to do with like paranormal investigation type stuff. So like this particular night, and I want to say it was maybe like 2012 or 2013, somewhere around there. So pretty, pretty long time ago. But I was on my computer, and like I was just kind of, at first I was just kind of watching like like different like videos of like supposedly like real ghosts and stuff like that, that people caught on tape, and so like of course like kind of like started progressing, and I kind of like you know thought I learned my lesson like in the past, like as far as like watching or investigating stuff that has to do with like demonic type shit, because like that's some scary shit right there. But that saying, curiosity killed the cat, like for whatever reason, like against my better judgment, like a lot of times I'm like, man, I just gotta know, like I gotta investigate this, so like the subject that really was on my mind is I had watched the movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, like maybe a couple nights before that or something. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen that movie, right? And it's supposedly based on a true story or true events. And a lot of people don't know the real name of the girl that it happened to was Annalise Michel. Yeah, I think that's like a French name, but that's the real name, right? And so like I was looking up, just like I was trying to see if there was like real pictures, like real video, or like real recordings of the actual like exorcism, right? And like I know a lot of people are like, probably thinking like, why would you want to even see that or hear that or whatever? But like I said, just curiosity and that need to know, I guess, right? So there wasn't any actual video that I know of, but there was a lot of pictures and those are like pretty, disturbing, like scary, right? But then there's actual like recordings of the exorcism, like of her voice and supposedly of the voices of the demons, talking through her. And so I'm looking at these pictures, and then like I was debating to myself like, man, do I really want to like listen to what she sounded like, right? Because um I'm sure a lot of you have heard, like, especially if you're Hispanic. You don't have to be Hispanic, but like growing up, like my mom used to always tell us, like, don't watch that stuff. Don't listen to that stuff. Like movies like The Exorcist and stuff like that, because she said it gets the attention of the evil spirits. Kind of like not necessarily like they're gonna like get a foothold there, or try to possess you or something, but basically it gets their attention. Like it draws their attention, right? And so like I think mom kind of I think mom was right, because so I decided against my better judgment to play this recording of her actual voice, and man, it sounds crazy. Like it just sounds like scary. Like it doesn't sound like a human voice, right? Not even like it doesn't sound like a man's voice is coming from it. Just it doesn't sound like a human voice. And so I maybe played like about, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds of that, and then I turned it off. I was like fucked out. Like that's enough. Like I'm convinced. So like I did that before. I think wifey was at work still or something, right? Because if she would have been there, she would have tripped on me if she heard me listening to that or whatever. And I think I actually had earphones on, but still so she came home from work, and then we hung out for a little bit, like watched some TV or something. And then so like later that night we get ready to lay down, and like so um she was laying down in the bedroom, like in our bedroom, and then like our son was still pretty young, like I want to say he was maybe like 10, 9 or 10. And I've said in some other videos, our son, he's autistic, he's special needs, right? So his maturity level is like way younger than his like age in years, right? So he probably had the maturity of maybe like I don't know, like a maybe a 6-year old or a 7-year old. So he always wanted me to sleep with him. He's a daddy's boy, still is. And so I was laying in a room with him, and then I don't know where our other dogs were, because we had 3 Chihuahuas. One of them was a little baby. She was maybe like she wasn't even like, I would say she was maybe like 5 months old. A little tiny white Chihuahua puppy, and her name's Sugar, but we always called her Shuggy. And she was tiny, right? But she was a feisty little thing. So she insisted on sleeping with us, or with me, basically. Anywhere I slept, she always wanted to sleep with me. And it's funny because all three of the Chihuahuas are supposed to be my ladies, but they all clung to me. They all claimed me, and they all followed me around. But anyways, so I don't know where the other 2 Chihuahuas were. They were sleeping somewhere else, but the little baby Chihuahua was sleeping next to us, and like we kind of just had his bed on the floor. Like we didn't have it on a bed frame, so it was just like a box spring and then a mattress, and then so it's kind of low to the ground, right? And so I made her a little bed, like, or actually I just put her little puppy bed like right next to us, so she could sleep next to us on her little puppy bed, right? So wifey was already asleep, and so me and Shuggy had just laid down. My son was already asleep, and so like I was kind of like drifting off to sleep, and I think I might have been like looking at my phone or something, and then like she was laying next to me, and she was asleep, right? But dogs sleep like really light, like they can wake up like real fast. But anyway, so like we're laying there, and all of a sudden, like I hear this like a disembodied female voice in the hallway, like, and I always have trouble explaining or describing what it sounded like, but it kind of sounded like kind of like, I mean, it was definitely a female voice, but it almost sounded like and it always makes me feel weird to say this, but it almost sounded like a woman that's in pain and pleasure at the same time, you know? And like, I mean, I'm not even trying to make this a sexual thing, but it was just like, it was like this weird kind of a moaning sound of a female, right? But like, but it definitely came from the hallway. That was the weird thing about it, is it came from the hallway, like, and it sounded so strange. And the reason I know it wasn't, normal, or like it wasn't like my wife or like one of the neighbors or something, is because as soon as I heard the sound, little baby Shuggy, and I heard, the other dogs in the other room too reacted, but as soon as I heard that sound, I kind of looked at the hallway, and then little Shuggy goes, "Arr," like that, like she just started growling, and like the hair stood up on her back, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I like jump up out of bed, and I walk out to the hallway, and I'm like, looking around, and I'm like, man, like I had like goosebumps, like it's just like I had this weird feeling, right? And so like I was kind of like just bit the side of my cheek. um I was kind of like, conflicted, because I was like, I don't want to leave my son by himself right here, but I wanted to go check on my wife to make sure it wasn't her, or to make sure she was okay, right? So, so I walked over, because our bedroom was like on the other side of the apartment, and like the bedroom I was laying in with my son is on the other side of the living room. So I walk through the hallway, really fast, and I'm kind of looking around, and then I just kind of peeked in the door of the bedroom, and my lady is laid out in the middle of the freaking king size bed like a starfish, like taking up the whole bed, hogging up the whole bed, right? But she was out, and so I said her name really quick to see if she was awake, and she didn't even, like, she was out. She didn't even respond, right? So I was like, I know it wasn't her, so like I was just like tripping, man, and so I like went back to the room with my son, and yeah, I had like just goosebumps, like kind of like, when I went out to the hallway, I could have been just tripping, but I kind of like felt like a presence, like just weird, like not something good, and so I just, I said some prayers, and then just laid back down with my son and with little Shuggy, and then I think the other dogs came in the room too with us, and I think they were kind of startled or something, but I stayed up for maybe like about an hour, just making sure that nothing else happened, but it didn't. And I didn't tell my wife about it for like years, like, or yeah, maybe I shouldn't say years. I should say maybe like months. I didn't tell her about it because I knew she was gonna chew me out, And then finally one night, I don't remember, like, I think we had like some friends over, and like we were talking about, scary stories. So that's one of my favorite subjects. I always try to figure out a way to bring up, paranormal stuff, but so like, I don't know. I just guess I figured like this is a good time to bring it up because she won't go too crazy on me in front of like our friends, So I mentioned it, and she just kind of looks at me like, oh, she's like, you don't learn your lesson, do you? She's like, because she knows some of the stuff that's happened, like some of the stuff that I'll talk about in future videos, like some of the like experiences, like visitations I've had, But anyway, yeah, it always creeps me out to talk about this stuff, so I'll do one of these real quick, and say a couple of prayers. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I like to share stuff with you guys, and I hope you guys don't mind me sharing some paranormal stuff, as well as my prison stories. But anyway, for now, that's another one for you guys. Your homie Big Cisco. Peace. Oh, don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you're not already, and comment. All right, you guys, have it. Take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.